The concept of mind reading often brings to mind visions of supernatural abilities or mystical powers, but in reality, reading people's minds is far more grounded in understanding human behavior, body language, and subtle emotional cues. Though we may never literally see inside someone's thoughts, we can interpret unspoken signals that offer insight into their emotions and motivations. This involves a deep understanding of nonverbal communication, emotional intelligence, and observation. Mastering the art of reading people will not only enhance your relationships, but also improve your communication and influence. In this article, we will delve into the many ways we can understand what others are thinking and feeling without them explicitly saying it. We will explore the mechanics of body language, micro-expressions, emotional intelligence, and the importance of context in interpreting human behavior. By the end, you'll have practical tools and techniques to better understand and connect with those around you. 1. The foundations of reading people. What does it mean to read minds? Reading minds in the context of this article refers to understanding what people are thinking and feeling based on nonverbal cues and emotional signals. It's about interpreting behavior, body language, and expressions to gain insight into what someone might be thinking, even when they don't openly share their thoughts. Every day, people reveal a great deal of information about their emotions, fears, desires, and intentions through unconscious movements, expressions, and tones of voice. Being able to read people is a crucial skill for many aspects of life, whether you're in a social setting, a professional environment, or navigating personal relationships. By paying attention to the right cues, you can gain a deeper understanding of others, which will help you respond more empathetically, communicate more effectively, and build stronger connections. The science of nonverbal communication. 1. What is nonverbal communication? Nonverbal communication refers to the transmission of messages or emotions without words. It includes body language, facial expressions, gestures, posture, eye contact, tone of voice, and even how physically close someone stands to you. Nonverbal communication often reveals more about a person's true feelings than the words they speak, as many nonverbal cues are subconscious and difficult to control. For example, a person might say they are fine, but their body language, such as crossed arms, avoidance of eye contact, or a tense posture, might indicate that they are actually feeling defensive or anxious. By focusing on these nonverbal signals, you can pick up on emotions that are left unspoken. 2. The role of the brain in nonverbal communication. The human brain is hardwired to process nonverbal communication. In fact, nonverbal cues are processed in the brain's limbic system, which controls emotions and instinctual behaviors. This is why nonverbal communication often occurs unconsciously. People may not even be aware that they're revealing their emotions through subtle gestures or expressions. For example, the limbic system is responsible for fight or flight responses, so when a person is nervous or uncomfortable, their body might reveal this by exhibiting certain behaviors like fidgeting or avoiding eye contact before they consciously realize it. Understanding how the brain processes and reveals emotions through nonverbal cues is essential for developing the skill of reading people. 3. Understanding body language. Body language is one of the most telling forms of nonverbal communication. It encompasses everything from posture and gestures to movements and proximity. Here are key body language signals that can help you read people more effectively. 1. Posture and stance. The way a person holds themselves can reveal a great deal about their emotional state. Confident individuals tend to stand tall, with their chest out and shoulders back, while those who feel insecure or anxious might slouch or cross their arms. This defensive stance often signals discomfort or the desire to protect oneself emotionally. A relaxed posture, on the other hand, suggests comfort and openness. Leaning in slightly when talking to someone usually indicates interest, whereas leaning back or crossing one's arms can signal disinterest or discomfort. 2. Arm and hand gestures. Arms and hands are powerful tools for nonverbal communication. For example, open palms and outward hand gestures can indicate honesty and engagement, while closed fists or hiding hands in pockets may signal nervousness or dishonesty. Crossed arms, often interpreted as a sign of defensive or discomfort, could suggest that a person is feeling closed off or threatened. Conversely, open arms indicate that someone is feeling relaxed, confident, or receptive. Third, leg and foot positioning. While people often focus on the upper body when interpreting body language, legs and feet can be just as revealing. A person's feet pointing towards the door might indicate that they're looking for an exit from the conversation, while crossed legs can suggest discomfort or a defensive stance. If someone's legs are planted firmly on the ground with a relaxed posture, it typically signals that they're comfortable and confident in the situation. Paying attention to these subtle cues can give you a clearer idea of what a person is thinking or feeling. The role of mirroring in building rapport. Mirroring is an unconscious behavior where individuals mimic each other's body language. When two people are on the same wavelength or feel connected, they often begin to mirror each other's gestures, postures, and even speech patterns. This phenomenon can be a powerful indicator of rapport and mutual understanding. If you notice someone mirroring your body language, it's often a sign that they feel comfortable and aligned with you. You can also use mirroring consciously to build rapport with others. Just be sure to do it subtly, as overt imitation can be off-putting. 4. Decoding facial expressions and micro-expressions. Facial expressions are one of the most direct ways that people communicate their emotions. While someone might be able to control their words or even larger body movements, their face often gives away their true feelings, even if only for a split second. 1. Basic facial expressions. According to psychologist Paul Ekman, there are 7 universal facial expressions that are recognized across cultures: happiness, sadness, anger, fear, surprise, disgust, and contempt. These expressions are hardwired into the human brain and are often involuntary. Learning to recognize these basic expressions can give you a quick insight into a person's emotional state. For example, a smile usually signals happiness or contentment. A frown, furrowed brows, or a tight jaw often indicate frustration, sadness, or anger. Raised eyebrows and wide eyes can signal surprise or fear. 2. The power of micro-expressions. Micro-expressions are brief, involuntary facial expressions that reveal a person's true emotions. They last only a fraction of a second and can be incredibly difficult to detect without training. Micro-expressions can occur when a person is trying to hide their feelings or when their conscious mind and emotions are in conflict. For instance, someone might smile and try to appear happy, but a fleeting expression of sadness or disgust might cross their face for a moment. Being able to catch these micro-expressions can give you insight into what a person is really feeling, even if they're trying to mask it. Training yourself to notice micro-expressions can significantly enhance your ability to read people. There are even courses and tools available that can help you practice spotting these subtle cues. 3. Eye contact and gaze. The eyes are often referred to as the windows to the soul for a reason. They can reveal much about a person's thoughts and emotions. Eye contact can indicate interest, attention, and confidence, while avoiding eye contact may signal discomfort, dishonesty, or insecurity. Someone who is lying may also break eye contact frequently or blink rapidly. Conversely, intense eye contact can sometimes signal aggression or dominance, depending on the context. However, prolonged eye contact in a friendly setting can signal trust and emotional connection. By paying attention to where someone is looking, how often they maintain eye contact, and the intensity of their gaze, you can gather valuable information about their emotional state. 5. The role of emotional intelligence. While reading body language and facial expressions can help you understand what someone is feeling, emotional intelligence, EQ, is the key to interpreting these cues accurately and responding to them in a compassionate and effective way. Emotional intelligence is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage your own emotions while also recognizing and influencing the emotions of others. 1. Self-awareness and empathy. One of the first steps in developing emotional intelligence is becoming more self-aware. This means understanding your own emotions and how they affect your behavior and interactions with others. When you're more in tune with your own emotions, you'll be better equipped to recognize similar emotions in others. Empathy is another crucial component of emotional intelligence. Empathy allows you to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand their perspective. This skill is invaluable when trying to read people's minds, as it enables you to anticipate how they might be feeling or thinking based on their circumstances. For example, if a friend has recently experienced a loss, they may try to put on a brave face and carry on as usual. However, if you're empathetic, you'll be more attuned to their subtle signs of sadness or stress and be able to offer support, even if they haven't explicitly asked for it. 2. Managing emotions in interpersonal interactions. Part of emotional intelligence is being able to manage not only your own emotions, but also the emotions of others. When you're able to read someone's emotional state, you can adjust your behavior or communication style to better connect with them. For example, if you notice that someone is feeling anxious or stressed, you might choose to speak in a calmer, more reassuring tone. If you sense that someone is feeling defensive or threatened, you might try to create a more open and non-confrontational environment. By managing your own emotions and responding to others' feelings, you can build stronger relationships and communicate more effectively. 3. Building rapport and trust. Emotional intelligence is essential for building rapport and trust with others. When people feel that you genuinely understand and empathize with their emotions, they're more likely to open up and trust you. This is especially important in professional settings, where building strong relationships with colleagues, clients, or customers can make a significant difference in your success. The key to building rapport is active listening, empathy, and authenticity. When you actively listen to someone, paying attention not just to their words, but also to their body language and tone of voice, you demonstrate that you care about their perspective. This can create a deeper connection and help you better understand what they're thinking or feeling. 6. Context and environment. Crucial factors in reading people. 1. The importance of context in interpreting behavior. Context is everything when it comes to reading people. The same body language or facial expression can mean very different things depending on the situation and environment. For example, crossed arms might indicate defensiveness in a heated conversation, but they could simply mean someone is cold if the room temperature is low. When trying to interpret someone's thoughts or emotions, it's important to consider the context in which the behavior is occurring. Ask yourself questions like, what is the overall mood of the situation? Are there external stressors at play? Is the person in a professional or personal setting? Understanding the broader context will help you avoid misinterpretations and get a clearer picture of what's really going on. 2. The influence of social and cultural norms. Social and cultural norms also play a significant role in nonverbal communication. People from different cultures may express emotions and thoughts in varying ways, and behaviors that are considered polite or normal in one culture might be interpreted differently in another. For example, in some cultures, making direct eye contact is a sign of respect and confidence, while in others, it may be seen as confrontational or disrespectful. Similarly, personal space preferences vary widely across cultures. What feels like an appropriate distance in one culture might feel invasive in another. Being aware of these cultural differences is essential when interpreting nonverbal cues, especially in multicultural environments. By taking cultural norms into account, you can avoid misunderstandings and interpret behavior more accurately. 3. Personal history and experiences. A person's personal history and experiences heavily influence their behavior, thoughts, and emotions. For example, someone who has experienced trauma or loss may be more guarded in their interactions, while someone with a strong support network may feel more comfortable expressing their emotions openly. If you have a good understanding of a person's background, it can provide valuable context for interpreting their behavior. For instance, if you know that a colleague is going through a difficult time at home, you might interpret their irritability or distraction differently than if you didn't have that information. While you may not always have access to someone's personal history, being aware that individual experiences shape behavior can help you approach interactions with more empathy and understanding. 7. Practical strategies to hone your skills. 1. Practice active observation. One of the best ways to improve your ability to read people is to practice active observation. This means paying close attention to the people around you and actively trying to interpret their nonverbal cues. Observe body language, facial expressions, tone of voice, and gestures in different contexts, and try to connect these signals with the emotions or thoughts that might be driving them. You can practice active observation in everyday situations, such as at work, in social settings, or even while watching TV or movies. By regularly observing and analyzing nonverbal communication, you'll become more attuned to subtle cues and patterns. 2. Develop empathy. Through mindfulness. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for developing empathy and improving your ability to read people. When you practice mindfulness, you become more present in the moment and more aware of your own thoughts and emotions. This heightened self-awareness can help you become more sensitive to the emotions of others. By being fully present in your interactions with others, you'll be better able to pick up on subtle emotional cues and respond to them effectively. Mindfulness also helps reduce distractions, allowing you to focus more intently on the person in front of you. 3. Seek feedback and validate your perceptions. Another effective way to hone your mind-reading skills is to seek feedback from others. If you're trying to interpret someone's emotions or thoughts, don't be afraid to ask them directly. For example, if you notice a friend seems upset, you might say, "I noticed you seem a little down. Are you okay?" By checking in with others and validating your perceptions, you can refine your ability to read people and avoid making assumptions. Over time, you'll become more confident in your ability to interpret nonverbal cues accurately. 8. Ethical considerations in mind reading. 1. Using your skills responsibly. Being able to read people's emotions and thoughts is a powerful skill, but with power comes responsibility. It's important to use this ability ethically and respectfully. Manipulating or exploiting someone based on their emotions is not only unethical, but can damage relationships and erode trust. Instead, focus on using your mind-reading skills to build stronger, more empathetic connections with others. By understanding what people are feeling, you can offer support, foster collaboration, and create a more harmonious environment. 2. Respecting boundaries. Not everyone wants their emotions or thoughts to be analyzed or exposed, and it's important to respect personal boundaries. Just because you can read someone's body language or facial expressions doesn't mean you should confront them about their feelings, especially if they're not ready to share. Respecting others' privacy and emotional boundaries is key to maintaining healthy relationships. If someone is clearly uncomfortable or unwilling to discuss their feelings, give them space and allow them to open up in their own time. Reading people's minds is less about supernatural abilities and more about understanding the subtle, often unconscious signals that humans give off through their body language, facial expressions, and behavior. By developing your observation skills, honing your emotional intelligence, and practicing empathy, you can become more adept at interpreting what others are thinking and feeling. This skill can have a profound impact on your personal and professional relationships, improving communication, fostering trust, and helping you respond more effectively to the emotions of others. While no one can truly read minds, mastering the art of reading people can bring you closer to understanding the inner world of those around you. As with any skill, practice is key. By observing others with care, paying attention to context, and refining your emotional intelligence, you'll gradually become more skilled at reading the subtle signs that reveal what's really going on in someone's mind.